Diablo 4, a very anticipated game coming out by Blizzard, and we are releasing on the 6th of the 6th, 2023. We are getting Diablo 4 this year, and obviously a lot of people are making a lot of content around the game, and I figured I would make a little video talking a little bit about things that I've seen. I did a deep dive earlier today, and I wanted to talk a little bit about things I'm concerned about, things that I am looking forward to, and just the game in general.
Okay.
The one thing I think is kind of crazy, I see so many people that I don't think have even played the game talking with like crazy certainty, wow, this is going to be the best game of all time, or
At
wow,
least.
this is going to be dog shit. And I'm like, bro, the game's not even out yet. Let's chill.
Yeah, and it's also like even whenever the game comes out, it's still not out. Because the game really comes out when the first season begins.
There's definitely some things that look pretty cool and some things that look concerning. So I figured I would just make a video. But the important thing for me is just, you know, at the end of the day, I have no idea. I'll have a lot of videos with very strong opinions out once I've actually played and tried the game. So first, let's talk a little bit about one of the most important things to me in an ARPG, and that is gear. Gear is really, really interesting and a cool way to shape your character, and often
And this is the thing is like PoE, like look at all of the different things that you can add onto this. There's just such a massive amount of like different things that you can add into an item in PoE to make it unique and interesting.
Like unique to you, right? And you get really excited, and every season you play, you end up with different projects and things that you're working on. Diablo 4 will be no different. It has like really, really cool things on both unique and legendary gear, which are kind of different. They're kind of similar, but kind of different. Uniques are going to be rarer and more build defining. Legendaries are going to be more common and more ability defining from what I could glean. But we'll see more of that when we actually play.
Well, I think that it's just going to be the same as Diablo 3, is the legendaries are going to modify one spell. And it's going to change the way that one spell works, and then you combine 4 legendaries, and it's like some Exodia thing that makes you do 5,000% more damage.
And then you can suck the ability out of the item and put it on another item that maybe has somewhere of the base stats they want. And a lot of the things
That's like
we saw
bottom
were
tier
pretty
roll.
interesting. Some, like, you know, being a lot more ability defining, like, you know, charge bolt, getting extra charges. And when you get a few of these on different items, I'm sure there will be some cool combos there. The only thing that I'm concerned about with Garrett is that the filler stats, there were a few that were like +1 a specific gem. It's not even that a lot of them looked a bit it was just that the majority of them looked because obviously filler stats are really important in games because you don't want every single stat to be amazing, right? Then every item is amazing by default, and it's good to have some filler stats that you maybe want to try to get rid of.
I think that there's a spectrum of filler stats. So like in PoE, I think if they took out light radius, the game would probably be better. But it doesn't mean that like they should take out every single filler stat, and there's always going to be better and worse stats.
Understand?
But like there shouldn't be any stats, I would say, that nobody uses. Like if you look at every single spec and like nobody uses the stat, take it out of the game.
Filler stats, it just felt like nearly every stat was a filler stat. Either way, I do hope we end up seeing really cool, unique gear, things that are worth farming for, because that's like a really special feeling that Diablo 2 is excellent at giving you, right? Especially with rune words, you find a very high rune, you find basically a shard of a super powerful unique. And that can definitely be a really special experience, especially when you then end up finishing that unique, right? You finish your Enigma, you're able to trade for it. There's a lot of cool things there. And while runewords had a lot of issues, it definitely gave like a vector of excitement. And you have so many items in Diablo 2 that were just absolutely perfect. You have Skin of the Viper Magi, Shaco. It's that like nice adrenaline of dropping something cool, and I'm really hoping Diablo 4 gets that.
It's very hard to have, because this is the problem, is that whenever you have something that has such a great drop rate, or something that has like such a great like utility, it's very hard to make that hard to get, because then people are playing at such a massive disadvantage that the game isn't fun for them. Beta in 16 minutes? Yep, that's right.
of rune words, this is actually a really good thing. They've scrapped the rune word system because they got a lot of feedback on it, and a lot of people were like, yo, this is not a rune word system. They were going to
13,
do a cause and effect rune, similar to cast when damage taken in path.
Well, they used the cause and effect type thing with like Mechagon rings. I remember that. It like didn't really work that well. It was interesting, but who cares?
System in itself, and the game probably should have
Too hard to find.
It's not really rune words. And a big improvement I would like to see when they're bringing rune words back in, I would like to see more interesting base types to put these runes in. One thing that's really cool, I think the game just looks amazing. Every video and stuff we've seen, one thing I'm really looking forward to is just the gameplay itself looks really crisp and smooth, and a lot of the abilities look really cool.
This is something that was true in Diablo 2, or sorry, Diablo 3. The visceral feel of the combat and the animations in Diablo 3 were really good.
And something that's hard to see in videos that I'm hoping we get to feel when playing is really nice impact is very important to me. Another RPG, Grim Dawn, is I quite regularly criticize them for that because I feel like a lot of the abilities in the game don't have that much impact.
PoE has gotten better with this, but I think that PoE's impact is still not as good as Diablo 3's.
So sometimes in a game, things can feel spongy. It can feel like you're not really hitting it. Think like Skyrim combat when you're just slashing at the monster. Whereas like when you like leap,
it's like it was the difference in like Bleak Faith and Elden Ring. If you guys watch
the character into the ground, you feel powerful. You feel the nice impact. And a lot of the abilities look like they have that, especially in the more recent videos. And that's something that I'm really hoping Diablo 4 nails. Another thing that I don't really know if this is a good or a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I guess cautiously optimistic for the Paragon system. It looks a lot more advanced. I'm actually a little bit surprised at how advanced it is. I have no real information about that, but it looked a lot more like customizable and stuff. So that's going to be really interesting. I really hope there's a lot of stuff we can do that is like build enabling and things to play around with there.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for them to find the middle ground between doing that and not alienating casual players and making it too hard for them to understand the game.
Obviously, I realize that they generally do go for a more casual player base, and that's completely fine. That's something I would
agree
think
with that.
would be very
it's fine
cool.
too.
A thing that I'm very worried about, however, I've seen a lot of people talk about that it is a full price game, but it has a battle pass, and a lot of people are like, well, shouldn't be selling cosmetics in a full price game. Surprisingly, this I'm okay with. That I have no issues with.
Yeah, I think that if you have a live service game, you should expect for a live service game to have continuous transactions. Whether it's a subscription fee, microtransactions, something like that. Because they need to pay people to continue to make the game. Like, it's not... I mean, that's how it is.
In fact, I'm massively in favor of it. And I'll explain why. It depends a little bit on what kind of game you want to play. If it's a game like Witcher, then I'm just going to play once 50 to 100 hours, and then I'm done with it. I probably just want a one-time fee. I buy it, I play, I'm happy. However, Diablo 4 is hopefully going to be a game that I want to play every 3 months.
Yeah, regularly.
And then I actually want there to be an incentive for the developer to keep making me content. And cosmetics is the best way to do that, right? It's not necessarily always a thing that, like, the more money they get, the more content we get back. Sometimes you'll just take the money and run, right? If they're not making money...
And that is one of the worst things about it. Yeah. Full price for real devs, small price for maintenance mode devs. Yeah, but I already bought the game. Well, yeah, and you get the game. But if you want to have continuous new content for the game, there are optional microtransactions that you can buy that fund that continuous content. You buy the game, you get the game. That's the way it works. Of course, that makes sense.
Probably not going to make us more content either, and we'll only get content in the form of DLCs and expansions, which I still think we will get for Diablo 4. I would assume that we'll get big expansions that they'll charge us another $30 to $100 for with additional classes. So it'll be interesting to see how the monetization unfolds, but while I'm not necessarily concerned about a battle pass, and personally am a fan of battle passes as long as you cannot advance it for money, which it seems like you can in this one, it's just felt a little
My understanding is that the non-money battle pass, like just like the free battle pass, is it does have advantages that your player can get or your character can get, like skips and stuff like that. But it's not the same. It's not the same as like you have a battle pass and then you get rewards and then you can spend money to advance those rewards.
Clear what it is, because they've said that there's some sort of boost.
It's not pay to win.
In
No,
the
it's not.
normal battle pass, and they've made it very clear. They've said there's no
cosmetics,
pay to win in Diablo 4. I feel like they're kind of breaking that already with the early start. In my opinion, that's a huge deal, regardless if the ladder starts or not, because the launch of a game is the most exciting no matter what, at least to me. So that is definitely a very important thing. I'm going to hope that they're true to their word and there will be no pay to win in the battle pass. No, like,
well, the thing is, if they put pay to win into the battle pass, a lot of people will stop playing. So, I mean, like, if they want to do that, that's fine. Just go back and play PoE or Last Epoch or something else. Like, who gives a fuck?
No XP boosts, no, like, skipping, like, pay to skip or pay to
there's
buy
none of
crafting
that.
materials. Nothing that, like, oh, well, I can just grind it for free. I'm assuming that there will be nothing. I'll be very angry if there is. That's definitely one of my main concerns.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
MMO feeling. The open world thing. I actually was kind of hoping for Diablo 4 to be World of Diablo. My secret dream, which isn't really that secret, is I've always wanted Diablo 4 to be World of Diablo and then there to be a World of StarCraft.
Yeah,
true. To have
that'd be fucking awesome.
It's completely unrealistic. It just would be really cool, even if it wouldn't work. But either way, at least we are getting more of an MMO-like feeling. It's going to be more similar to Lost Ark. It's going to have world bosses. It's going to have resource gathering and a world that you run around exploring. I think it'd be really cool.
Absolutely.
World PvP, like there's so many cool things there, and obviously we've heard a lot of people are very against that. I've seen a lot of people really dislike that. I think that would be really cool. Either way, that was some of the main things that I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to share a few things, like a few things I'm concerned about, a few things I'm excited about, and I don't know, I'm just surprised how much like volatility, I don't know if that's the right word. People are just so extreme and polarized. It's either like dog shit or amazing.
Well, that's just the way that content on the internet trains people to behave. That's not really anything special about like this game. It's just that all content on the internet is like fucking highly extreme and they want to get people like as hyped up or as mad as possible. That's just how it is.
Videos after the 2 betas, but obviously like make a proper review of the game after I've played it, because at the end of the day,
max hype or max hate. There's
how
nothing
good
in the middle
or how bad something looks on paper or in videos. The only thing that's gonna matter, are you enjoying the game?
Oh my god, bro, I saw those tornadoes. That gave me some fucking PTSD. Do y'all remember that dog shit fucking build that people were able to do in Diablo 3 with dropping tornadoes on things as a wizard? God, I fucking hated that, but it was so good and I had to use it.
When you are playing it. That's a very individual thing. Some people are gonna love it. People still love Diablo 3. I hate it. I hate Diablo Immortal. I'm still very hopeful, and I hope Diablo 4 will be amazing.
Yeah.
Especially because the more good ARPGs to have, the more every other ARPG will grow. So we'll see. And hopefully it's not dog shit.
Yeah.
That's all we can say, really.
Hopefully it's not dog shit.
Thanks for watching. Sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.
Yep, there you go. Holy fucking shit. Man, yeah, hopefully it's not dog shit. Bro, that's one way to put it. Let me link it for you guys. Yeah, that's this right. This guy is like a huge PoE guy. He has been a legend in the PoE community for like fucking 8 years, 7 years. He's been around for a while. So he knows a lot about these games. So I'm glad to hear his perspective on things.